Hello, YouTube. We are back at it again. We are back with a banger. We're going to be watching Jubilees. Can men and women be just friends? I am very excited for this video. I have not seen a Jubilee in a while. It's been a long time since I did the first reaction. It was about a year ago where I made one on women rizzing up guys, from what I remember. And that definitely had the guy named Nut in it. That guy's becoming one of my favorite. That guy's been one of my favorite guest stars on the Jubilee shows, especially the dang videos. This one's going to be a little different because it's going to be talking about like social issues and just some people's thoughts on it. How they reflect their opinions based on whether it's politics or how people identify themselves or just whatever you can think of. This one's very exciting because I guess it's been kind of a big topic. Can guys and girls be just friends? And I guess when you talk about that, that's talking about literally in the title, no sexual attraction, no anything like that. And I guess in today's generation, that's been increasingly more of a topic of discussion. Guessing this has to do with mainly talking about straight men and women versus like anything outside of that. Let's get into the video. Let's dive in.
So you're saying you care more about money than a relationship?
I don't give a if she was a homie. But if she stole my money, yeah, that affects my life.
The guy only cares about the other stuff with whatever the wife or girl cheats on him. Nah, if she takes the money, that's it. That's it. I guess the guy's got his priorities, right? All right. Wow, everybody's looking pretty good. Oh, everybody's looking so fashionable.
Men and women cannot just be friends.
All right, before they start, I don't know what everybody's answer is, but I think for my answer, I'm going to have to go with the slightly agree, but this is mainly talking about between guys and girls, straight friendships. I mean, I know it doesn't have anything to, like, they can be just mutual friends, but I guess I come at it from the lens of if you don't talk about, like, possibility of feelings being in the future and will you be able to handle it? Like, somebody might be attracted to the other, whether it's the guy or the girl. I guess it's just more so about it's more likely to happen if you're with a friend and not just an acquaintance with the opposite sex. All right, let's see everybody's answers.
3, 2, 1.
Cannot
Okay.
just be friends.
He's still deciding, but I'll go ahead. There's always
Okay.
this underlying current to a man and a woman when they're just friends, because there's
How's she all dressed up for? I mean, she is sparking out of everybody here. What's all that about? Just felt like I had to comment that. You know, everybody was looking good.
this sexual attraction, this energy that you can't even see it. It's always flowing. And men, as you know, you guys are conquerors. You want a conquest. You want to, even if it's a friend.
I think me and that guy have a pretty similar reaction because I mean, like what I just said, I mean, there is that, like what she's saying, there is that mutual attraction, but I don't know about conquering. That's a little weird to say, but let's see the rest of what she's saying.
More simply because law of familiarity, you start getting close and comfortable, and
Okay.
maybe you weren't attracted to her initially, but that opposition of that sexual polarity always kicks in.
What if the man is like not attracted to women? Just like generally, do you think that's still
You mean if they take a different
like a gay man and
sexual orientation
and a woman being friends?
Well, I think that's
Okay, so that's what I was saying before with what I believe. I like the girl in the red dress's answer for the like half of it, but the whole thing with what if they're just not attracted to the opposite sex? Like, okay, that usually I guess that you don't have to worry about that as a factor. But if you're just talking about just being friends, like just friendship without the possibility of like liking someone, which if you're friends, one, you'll be mitigating that because that's a boundary. You're only going to be like friends. And two, if you ever do gain feelings with somebody, you talk about it. So with someone being maybe homosexual or both people being homosexual or whatever it is, you don't have to worry about number two.
Two of my best friends are women. We have great times together all the time. Not once have I considered sleeping with them or anything like that.
Ever?
No. But that's the thing is, though,
in
that's
their
why.
darkest hour, in your darkest hour. Come on.
No.
Because you like started off.
Because we started off as friends.
I mean, look, if that's what the guy's saying, like, okay, we have to go off that, you know, innocent before guilty. But I don't know. I mean, I guess for if they're talking about specifically this topic, then he's probably telling the truth. But I don't think his answer would be typical. And I think being in like a social situation probably changes that. It's like you can dream about whatever, and that's fine. But whether you act on it or want to act on it or not is a different thing. But hey, like I said, what do I know? I don't know.
This is like I said, I was never attracted to them.
A lot of relationships start like that today, even though I discourage it. They say, I'm not attracted to them, but it'll grow. And I'm always like, it can happen.
It can, but
the odds of it, so I agree with you on that as well.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I do
Slim to
understand
none.
and I get it, but like 2 of my best friends are women, and not once. Everyone keeps saying like, oh, you're gonna do, and I'm like, it's not, because
You never know. Life is a long.
But okay. But I guess, like I said with before, I mean, he might not feel that way, but I guess it just begs the question, what about the other two? And it's probably going to be, yeah, they never thought about sleeping with him or anything like that. But I don't know. It's hard not to speculate because it's just that, yeah, whatever. Let's move on.
Are your friends attractive?
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, just because he doesn't feel it doesn't mean they don't feel it. But
Like they look good.
But attractive is subjective.
But like
Sorry.
just like generally speaking, like your
Yes.
girls like look good, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you was just lonely, like it's been a moment, you didn't want to beat it, you know what I mean? Or like, you know.
There's a special exemption. I'm non-monogamous, so I
yeah, I thought there was something a little weird about that answer, but we'll continue.
never have to worry about intimacy.
Well, that's why.
Wait, so you getting played. So you ain't worried about yeah.
He's like getting it, so he doesn't need it. But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if you was lonely, you wasn't getting it though, and your friend was throwing it.
and
I guess
He's
that's
throwing yourself at
that's
you.
a different situation. That's what I'm saying. I know I'm
Bro,
an
you belong
outlier.
over here though.
Come
No.
to the dark side.
If he's not attracted, if we're not attracted,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
just
like,
friends.
it's just friends. Yeah.
As
Okay, so the guy okay, that guy also is kind of saying what I'm saying. I wish they showed their names because they didn't show the names, but yeah, the guy in the tan shirt, he definitely, that's what I was saying, like there's always something a little off about that relationship, you know. It's not even like speculated. Okay, I mean, so far everyone's bringing up good questions because I mean, yeah, I have my answer, which is most likely I'm gonna have to agree, like at least be on the slight agree to neutral. It just depends. Yeah, everyone's bringing up good points though.
Is from kind of a Christian worldview.
Yes.
I believe that, you know, God created man and woman to come together in love and attraction.
Yo, that's my guy. That's my guy. Oh my God, that's so cool. So far, I like what he has to say.
And to be one. And so from that standpoint, I believe that there is just a natural attraction. I have had some extremely close friends that were girls, and that attraction just developed because it wasn't just physical, but it was love. It was getting to see how they were around their family, around kids, what they do for work, what they do for school, developing that relationship. So from my perspective, that attraction develops because I wasn't just looking at her from just, you know, she's just a body. Yeah, she's just a piece of meat.
Yeah.
You develop that emotional attraction, that emotional relationship.
Which is why I'm over here. Yes, joining this dark side.
Yeah, so I guess Luke, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's not like when you go over, like, I guess from a Christian or Catholic point of view, it's not out of like, oh my, or she's hot, or oh, she's so pretty. It's no, like, over time you learn more and more about people. This goes to both men and women, or over time you just get to know people more and more, and with that, love grows. And with what he was saying, like, it's natural love over time. And, you know, as friends, you either distance or you set boundaries, or you talk about whatever it is. But I liked what he had to say. And he even, I guess saying that, he brought over the girl in the green. So that's kind of cool. Not that I'm picking sides or anything.
I would date someone I do not find physically attractive.
I would date someone I do not find physically attractive. I mean, I think so. I mean, I guess for me, whenever I was with someone, I was attracted to them physically and like who they were, or personality, if you want to call it like that. For me, I'm more of a person who I want to date someone on a spiritual connection and who they are, like their choices, what they like, interests, goals, who they are, habits, good and bad. Like that's what I care about. And then like the physically attractive part, that comes secondary. While it's like a mixed bag, obviously, physical attraction only lasts, what is it? It'll last forever if you like them. Okay, I think maybe I'm saying that wrong, but it's like the number one is the spiritual and who they are, regardless of physicality. But if they put effort in, and the more that they just try to be healthy or whoever they are, that's good. That's, I think for me, that's what makes someone physically attractive, seeing that they take care of themselves or do the best they can. And even if they aren't like, I don't have like a body preference. That's what I always tell my friends whenever we talk about it. I don't I don't really think about that stuff. It's always more personality. So yeah, I'm gonna say strongly agree with this. While, like I said, I don't know if it hasn't happened to me. I mean, I've been attracted to everyone that I've been with. But if we talking like if they stank or something, that's something that you can probably fix, which is, I mean, I'm not gonna tell them probably, but because I'm not gonna be like that. But that's something where I'm like, like body odor or whatever. But that's like the one thing that I guess I kind of care about, and I'm already very lenient on that, so that's still whatever for me. But all right, let's see their answers. I'm gonna say, before I even see whose answers are what, most of them are gonna be either on the neutral or agree side, but I could be wrong. Let's see.
3, 2, 1.
Interesting.
Like,
Wow. Okay, maybe. Okay. I'm gonna stick with my answer, but I'm gonna see what they say, and maybe I missed something that I wasn't thinking about.
you want to say something first?
I do it all the time because there's a lot you don't, just from the physicalness. It's like sometimes there's some people that I learned just by not going in based off physical attraction, I end up being attracted to them just because of their personality. And you
Okay.
know, looks can be deceiving. I could say the same on the opposite end, where I thought someone was absolutely attractive, but then I got to know them and they were the worst person I could have possibly been on a date with.
I feel like you can definitely not be attracted to somebody initially, and then as you get to know
Yeah.
them. But I feel like at that point, like once I like someone's personality romantically, I probably
They're
also
automatic.
think they're attractive.
I would say that for some, it's not a.
Maybe I need to rethink my answer. It's still true with what I was saying, but maybe physicality does matter, like initially, I guess.
How weighted appearance versus personality might be. It differs from person to person. I think that we have our preferences, and I think that a certain element of physical attractiveness is fitness, health, hygiene, and that reflects on usually competence, responsibility, and dedication. But I do see it as important, although not the whole package by any means.
Right. It's the very first impression you get of most people.
Yes.
Because you meet someone and you can't hear their voice first thing most of the time, you just see them. And you're like, oh, that
Okay.
person's attractive. Or like, I don't see myself with that person because I don't find them attractive. And that's totally fine. Not everybody.
Okay. Maybe I am more on the disagree side, because it's not talking about like a lasting relationship. So if it's, I don't like saying that, but I guess I actually would have to switch my answer to disagree, like with what most of them were, not on the strong side, but more neutral. Because like I just said before, they answered, I care more about, like, I'll be more attracted to them as I know more about them, like if they're a good person or whatever they're doing. But you can't know that on the initial dating stuff. So I guess I would have to say I probably wouldn't date someone I'm not like physically attracted to, but that's like a very like more neutral mixed bag kind of thing, because it's not just about what they look like, but how they present themselves. Did they have a smile on their face? Like, are they always looking down? Like, I don't, that all that stuff kind of depends. So 51% disagree, if that counts.
He's attracted to everybody, but me personally, I would not be with someone I don't find attractive.
So I gotta give context here, right? If I'm meeting you in person and you don't look good, then I'm over there with y'all. But if I'm meeting you through a dating app and I get catfished, but you're kind of cool,
What?
Initially attracted to that person and have a strong sexual attraction, then it's not going to work because we know that relationships get worse, not better. That's like, I don't know, I think it's a
That doesn't sound right. That something about that didn't seem truthful. Relationships get worse before they get better, and also if it's the part where it's like a strong sexual attraction at first, and her saying it just goes down. I mean, I maybe that wouldn't be the right way of saying it, but I think maybe more neutralized after you see the physical attraction with someone, and then more over time, if you guys connect more, it becomes more of a bonding, dating, so it becomes more neutral state where you're together now, but it's not always like, oh, this person's so hot all the time. Like, no, I mean, you think they're physically attractive, but now you care more about who growing together. So maybe I would say that I would not agree with her in saying that it just gets worse, like without any follow-up.
Cheating is the worst thing my partner could do to me.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say it's the worst thing. There's many worse things out there. I don't know, things that include murder, crime, revenge, and the extent that it involves past more than just one person, and like including you as a partner, stealing all your money, framing you for something you didn't do. What's some other worse things? Stole your dog, your turtle, your fish, ate your fish, ate your dog, deleted all your games. Like, I don't know, that's pretty high for me. The list goes on, but I mean, yeah, cheating's bad. Cheating's very bad. Do not do that to anybody. If you're gonna do something, no in between stuff, be honest, leave the relationship, and that also means having hard conversations about feelings for somebody else, or not feeling fully connected with the person and staying faithful to them. Whatever you gotta do, talk about it. Do not cheat. I'm gonna say, I mean, I agree that that's a really bad thing to do, but I don't think I would say it's the worst thing out there. You know, there is a lot worse things. So I guess for this, I would just, for simplicity, I'll say agree. Let's see what they say.
3, 2, 1.
Huh. Okay, I already know she's gonna. I have a feeling the lady in the red dress and the black guy are gonna be saying like pretty similar stuff, but we'll see.
I feel like there's like probably worse things like in theory that a partner could do to their partner,
Yeah.
but just because that's such an important aspect for me, and like I feel like my partners in the past have like been very aware that was like something that I actively would not do. I feel like that would just that adds like an extra element of evil.
Yeah,
Okay.
my mind goes
to
marriage. I mean, you know, when you marry this woman, when I marry a woman someday, you promise literally everything you have to be with her, literally thick and thin, to be with her through everything, through highs and lows. And I mean, if you do something like cheating, it's basically like, screw this love, this wasn't real. These promises that I made between us and God mean nothing. I think for a lot of Christians, that's like a big thing, is cheating. I mean,
100%.
Well, yeah, I fully agree with that. Yeah, you make promises, faithful. Absolutely horrible if you do it to your partner, let alone yourself. It is if it's like a marriage thing, it is something unbelievably horrible to deal with. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say. It's just absolutely a horrible thing to do. I like what this guy's saying a lot. It's like I said, it's absolutely the same thing that I believe, at least in terms of marriage or committing yourself to someone. Like I said, I just think there's a lot other horrible things to do. Death is a lot worse than cheating, but both are extremely horrible. So let's continue. I want to hear everybody else's point.
And it's one of the 10 commandments too. It's like, do not commit adultery.
Yep.
So that is definitely the worst thing, because getting married is a promise between you and that person and God.
I mean, technically there's worse things, like they could kill you, which would probably be the worst thing, because then like you're not even in the picture.
You belong over here.
So I'm kind of like, you know, but I would say that would like destroy me, and I would never even think about something like that.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I was actually cheated on a few, like 4 or 5 months ago. I struggled with self-esteem so much growing up, and that was the worst thing that could have happened. That destroyed any chance I had at self-love at that time, and it was just devastating for me. Like, it really was just devastating, because it didn't just destroy that relationship, it destroyed my entire image of myself that I had built up based on other people's validation, and I had to rip it down to the studs and just fully start over. Yeah, so that's why I'm over here. Strongly agree. For me personally, it was the worst thing that could have happened.
Cheating is.
Oh my god, dude, these making. I mean, I don't think I'm crying on this. I don't think I'm crying on this, but dude, I actually felt so heartfelt, man. I mean, I don't think that's happened to me. But no, that I felt that, man. You could see it in his eyes, like he's still feeling that having to restart moment, man. Yeah, I wish that guy the best. Even for just coming out there and sharing that with a whole bunch of strangers and on a show online. Dude, props to you, man. I think you're getting better. You're getting better.
It's not a good feeling. Is it the worst thing that a partner could do to me? To be honest, I've outgrown that. Bro, I had over $250,000 stolen from me this year, bro. And that put me in a dark ass place. Now,
$250,000? What? How? My guy. I don't think he's gonna be sharing that, but how? Let's keep going.
imagine if my partner stole that money from me, or she was just a homie. I'd be more mad about the money. You feel me, right?
I don't have that money to be stolen.
So you're saying you care more about money than a relationship?
But because at the end of the day, me and my ex, we ain't together no more, so I don't give a if she was a homie. If she was, right? But if she stole my money, yeah, that affects my life. You know what I mean, right? So my whole thing is, when we talking about the prom, is cheating the worst thing that a partner could do for me? I've been cheated on before. The first time I was cheated on, bro, I was petty. I was in high school, bro. I drove all the way to the crib and told her mom what she was doing with me. You know what I mean, right? Yeah, I was vengeful. But now I just be like, you know, so many people do it. There's worse things that they have. Like, if you kill my mom, I'd be more mad. Rather than.
Well, I would hope so. I'd feel the same. But yeah, like, raises good points. Like, I mean, obviously cheating is absolutely horrible, but that whole thing with the money, or, I mean, I don't care about, money does not matter to me as much in a relationship, but it does matter for, like, when you have kids, or if you gotta take, like, whenever you gotta take care of stuff, that matters. But in terms of just relationship between one person to another, money, it's about effort and faith, and like faith to each other, and doing what you can for each other. But like, it doesn't matter how many dollar signs you have. It matters what you put into the table, what you can contribute for yourself and for the person. So yeah, I see what he's saying about that. Don't be the vengeful though. That's just gonna wear on your soul. I mean, maybe I'm glad he did it when he was younger, not doing it now when he's probably like 30 or something. But yeah, let's keep going.
You know, homie.
The sanctity of marriage is supposed to be till death do us part. That doesn't mean if your carnal flesh gave in and you had, you know, an indiscretion that you're able to hit the door running. No, that means there's work to be done. We have problems. For me, I think it actually can be the best thing, because it's a sign that there is a huge problem in the relationship that needs fixed.
Okay. Yes, to the part where there's talking about a discrepancy and like, okay, like that was a major screw up, but it's not something that can't be fixed and moved on and hopefully never comes up again. About the part where it's like, okay, something needs to get fixed. Yes, but careful about that, because just because somebody did that doesn't mean, what was it? Look, I don't know. I'm 21. I don't know. I'm not married. But to say that like it might be the best thing in a relationship just because it says it needs fixing. It shouldn't. If you're in it that long with marriage, okay, I see what she's saying to play devil's advocate. Yeah, it's the best thing could have happened because then that forces change. But that shouldn't get to that point, or at least if everyone's in their right mind and being open to communication. To get to that point, that's a whole other level of you messed up. I see what she's saying, but I do not agree with the sentiment that it could be the best thing that ever happened to you.
Most sex is not emotional, so it's just a bodily act.
Okay. Yes, it is. Or at least that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the best form of expression of emotion. At least in faith. I mean, not everyone believes in God, or not everyone follows Catholic or Christian faith. But it's beautiful because it's so full of emotion, not devoid of emotion. So if it's devoid of emotion, like maybe that's how most people are nowadays, or it's just physical. I get it, but I think that is not its intent. Like it's supposed to be more than that. That's not what was intended.
For men, I feel like we take cheating a lot more personally as opposed to women. It comes to the ego.
Yeah, I mean, they were saying what I was saying, like in terms of there's a lot of steps to get to the point of you are cheating on your partner through sex or whatever else. There should be so many more steps taken and a lot more steps after.
Those boundaries are all different. So if, you have perhaps been with no or less partners and then you get married, to learn that that person cheated would be proportionally much more devastating to someone who's had maybe a lot of relationship experience, and therefore that's more of an active part in their life. So I think that everyone's boundaries are different. So for some people, I have seen them get over it. I know for me personally, I would say that I'm a woman that would take that devastatingly seriously and would not look lightly at it. So it depends on the person's boundaries.
If you had children and if you had a family involved, you would break up your family over a man's one-time indiscretion.
Yes.
That would adversely.
No, that doesn't sit right with me. About saying at her asking, so you would break up the family because of one indiscretion. Well, that's not. I don't think that's a fair thing to say, because it's like, well, okay, so the guy cheated or the girl cheated, and then you want to break it off or at least create distance from the person, right? And then from what she's saying, from her favorite question, it's like, so you're going to break up the family because of something he did. No, they broke up the family when they committed that, when they did that. It's not on the person's wanting to separate themselves from the cheater. I would say is in the right, at least like temporarily, like they're doing the right thing, even if it does the distance doesn't last forever. When the person cheated, that was on them. So what she's saying is like, it's like a prisoner's dilemma. Like either you both confess and then you try to work it out for, maybe there's a punishment with it, but like you end up at least living a truthful thing eventually, or you both just keep it under wraps and then maybe you'll have less of a punishment with the family, or one person's like the point is either you live a truth or you live a lie with the family. It's better to be truthful and there's some hurt, but maybe you'll get back together and be not stronger, but just back to normalcy later on. So I do not subscribe to what she's saying about her questioning.
Affect your child and possibly send her to the stripper pole.
I don't feel comfortable.
What? No, again, no. I mean, I get what she's saying with like creating family issues and then that reflects in the children. Sure. But that, again, that's not on the person wanting, let's say the mother wanting to separate from the father who's cheating. The father cheating is what caused the pain. The mom separating with the children is the right call. At least like temporarily, or whatever you want to call it.
I don't feel comfortable answering that question because I feel like it's making a lot of.
That feels like an escalation. This is what
I
happens.
feel like that.
We don't
that
want to
just
answer
shows,
those questions, but
that shows an example onto the kids, like, oh, this is not that bad of a thing.
Yeah, and I think that like somebody cheating on you is more than just like a physical thing. Like that's a break of trust, and I feel like if you can't have that trust in someone, then I also don't want them to be like raising my kids with me.
Yeah. So we're all saying that love is conditional is the end of the
Yeah, yes. 100% agree with that.
Monogamy is overrated.
Would you rather have a whole bunch of friends and then eventually, well, the more friends you have, the less it really matters to you, or have one friend who you can share love with and actually spend time and care about? So strongly disagree. Also, the whole thing with polyamory or non-monogamous, that the more things you tag on, the more things you got to pay attention to, and the less you pay attention to it, the worse it's going to get. It just makes everything so much more complicated. So yeah, strongly disagree. I have a feeling the dude with the long black hair is going to be strongly agree. Everybody else is going to be on the other side. That's my guess.
3, 2, 1.
Monogamy is overrated.
Sorry.
And I called it. That's what I'm saying. Everyone's going to be on that side except for that
Disney,
guy.
all these fairy tales, it's like you're supposed to be with that one and only, you know? So it's very frightening to break something traditional, but after like a few months with it, I just knew I'm like, this is the right choice. I've been in the most happiest of relationships. I just celebrated my 3 years with my primary partner. And like, as well as my 2-year anniversary.
Yo, wait, look at the girl in the green. Oh, she's like me right now. Yo, I like her. Oh my God. Yeah, that definitely makes sense for the reactions.
With my secondary partner. But it's like, you know,
Everybody's
I do think that
uncomfortable with
monogamy
that.
is kind of overrated. I don't think that there's anything like, you know, wrong with it. If that's what you want to do, go for it. But I do think that non-monogamy and poly relationships should be something that like, it's looked at as an option.
I think nowadays
Well, it's always an option. Doesn't mean it's a good one, at least long term.
I know more open relationships than I do strictly closed relationships with the people that I know. I would say I disagree that monogamy is overrated, but I do agree that for some people like yourself, poly relationships work better. So I don't look down upon them. I think whatever works for you works for you.
Yes.
But I can still say that for like someone like myself or people that are similarly just very focused and have like strict kind of like, I just can't ever, oh my God, I could never imagine more than like one person.
It's a lot.
I think there's different things that make people compatible as partners, and that's definitely one of them.
What he's saying is the cry of many men today is that they're not getting enough sex from their partner. And not just sex, it's not like men are like, oh, I'm heartless.
That connection.
But listen, men.
Yeah, maybe not. Well, I don't know. I mean, personally, you know, none of that till marriage or whatever. But I mean, everybody's gonna do their own thing. I don't know. Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's necessarily sex, but human connection and like the commitment, effort, and faith and trust with like love with somebody. Like it doesn't have to be the physical act, but like the intimacy, the communication, the closeness, that kind of stuff.
Men need sex to create intimacy. Women need intimacy to have sex. And people get
Well, what I just said.
married and then fuck around. It's like, just don't get married then. And stay like this boy, dates and anniversary.
Yeah, but I don't much like what that guy's doing. I mean, I don't know him, but I don't subscribe to that kind of stuff, you know. But hey, more power to him, I guess.
Y'all two are my people, I swear to God. Y'all two are my people.
Next month is his 1-year anniversary with partner number 3. Like, just, you know what I mean? Just be out there doing your dates. And does that make sense?
By the end of the day, nobody should dictate your relationship because everyone's gonna try to push what they think works for, you know, this is what's best for you. Like, I'm over it. I'm like, why? So I can be frustrated and pissed off and like, I've tried it. To me, it did not work.
I want to take perspective because, you know, Christian, I'm going to take perspective that's a little away from my biblical views. And no disrespect, but I do think polygamy is just laziness.
Not polygamy, this is polyamory.
Okay, dude. I mean, come on. Like, just for this situation, it's similar thing, okay? Even if it's just called something else.
Polygamy is when it's multiple wives, just one person.
I see that as laziness, that you don't want to commit to someone in the hard times. Like you were talking about a little bit about, well, they're not getting fulfilled sexually, so why not find it somewhere else? Yeah. Why not just do the hard work to work on your relationship?
I agree with
Ooh, I was ready for this question.
And
No,
I mean, there's such a emotional, there's a psychological just importance in being with one person.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pair bonding.
So then why do we have such a high divorce rate?
What the? My guy was just waiting for somebody to say that, just to say that. Well, okay. High divorce rate, all right, but that has nothing to do with your specific relationship. Like the rest of the world doesn't matter. What matters is between you and the person, and maybe you go into one of the other statistic where you stay in marriage or get divorced. Like, okay, that part is statistical nationwide. That has nothing to do with how you are as an individual partner. Like, I guess in life it is 50-50. I mean, if you're considering whether you do the action or not until you die, I guess. I mean, the point is, it's like that guy was just waiting for somebody to say something like that just to justify what he's doing. But no, I mean, the point still stands that monogamy is good.
I agree with you on that.
why do we have such a high divorce rate?
Why are people still cheating? Why is open?
Because they're not. Because our country, I think, is lazy. We don't want to have these hard conversations of maybe we should go to therapy, maybe we should try to get help because we love one another. It's like, nah,
or
I
even
can go
to
get
talk
this.
about it, period.
Yeah.
Just to talk about it, right?
So me and my ex, we actually did couples therapy because again, we was barely for like 2.5 years, bro. We went to couples therapy. Next thing you know, everything was great for like a month. And then one day she just blew up. She said, man, I still don't feel like you, this and that. But like she went in, bro. You know what I mean? So at the same time, there was a point in my relationship where it really just came to the point like, baby, I love everything else about you. You know what I mean, right? This area sucks. Are you still attracted to me? She said, yes, I'm still attracted to you, right? Well, here's the thing. If you just don't want to have sex with me, right, go somebody do this. I don't give a Let's have that conversation, right? Because I get everything else I want from you anyways.
I mean, just for your information, I mean, look, everybody can disagree on it or whatever, but I truly believe that it's sin for a reason. If you put commitment into it, and I think the healthiest thing is to just stay with the one person through the hard times. Because if you start doing that with somebody else, like let's say a stranger, just like initial dating, whatever you want to call it, it's just going to end up being that you form that kind of connection with somebody else, or it becomes a meaningless connection with someone else, which isn't good either, because they're a person, not a body. So it sounds like they're treating it like bodies because they don't want to have sex with their partner or whatever, but it, like, this kind of talk is like talking like you just want to do with somebody else with body friction.
Open to the idea. I want to be with my woman, but if you don't want to do this, I'm fine. Just
yeah,
we're on the same page.
I mean, I understand the importance of sex, but there's self-sacrifice in every relationship you need to make. If you're happy with her and everything she had, but you also have a value on sex, then maybe she's not the right person.
But the thing was, did I want to go look for greener grass, or did I just want to water my own grass? I just stuck it out for 5 years, bro.
That's another aspect of being like romantically compatible with someone, and sometimes there's like one thing that's not there and that sucks. But it's like especially if that other person, that's something that they prioritize. Like personally, if my partner was like, oh, like I love like everything about you, but like this is not compatible, and they wanted to go sleep with other people, like that would make me feel so bad about myself.
Yeah. And that's why you do what works for you.
I can't even, I mean, I don't have a partner right now or anything like that. I can't even imagine being asked that and like also wanting to like not feel betrayed, I guess. I mean, it's a hard, I mean, if that ever does come up in the future, that would be a very hard conversation to have. I'm not gonna, like, if that ever comes up, I'm not gonna say yes to that. While if it's just a feeling and they haven't done anything and then they change their mind, like, okay, that's something, I mean, that I think that's good. I'm not trying to change them. If they go on acting like that or already did, I'm out. Like that's not what I signed up for. Yeah, I mean, I think regardless though, that is something, if it does come up and someone feels that way about wanting multiple partners or go elsewhere for that kind of activity, definitely, well, it's got to be talked about first of all. And if it can't find a middle ground where you're both happy and staying strong, then I mean, that's kaput then. For marriage, that's a different story, I guess, because it's actually like full life commitment. But I can't speak for that.
That's, yeah, that's what you do.
Well, I'm just saying like that's like a compatibility issue then I think because I'm not your ex-girlfriend. I don't know how she feels, but if I were in that scenario, I just like that just would make me so sad, even though it's it's not your fault that there's that imbalance.
The comments gonna talk so much shit.
Yeah, they
right.
They're gonna be like, he's a
The day
slut,
I
he's
broke up with
horrible.
my girl, bro, she told me like I won't say everything. The day I broke with my girl, she said, man, she's like, I just be counting down the days. Like we had sex in like 12 days. I gotta go have sex with y'all. Otherwise, Ashley gonna get mad. You know what I mean, right? And I'm hearing all this and shit, right? You know what I mean? So she said a bunch, and I felt like I had to break up with her, right?
Yeah, no, that's
did not want to. I felt like I had to.
Yeah, that would definitely take a toll on you.
I think all this goes back to clear communication.
That the girl in the green is definitely, she's been thinking the whole time, like just not feeling comfortable. I could see it in the body language, just how she's looking, self-reflecting. It's a pretty uncomfortable thing to talk about, to be honest. I mean, it's all real reactions. I mean, just several different viewpoints on intimacy between multiple partners versus monogamy and like one partner commitment. But I mean, this really is so interesting to hear. Because I mean, I've said how I feel about this certain kind of things, but yeah.
Because if I don't think that cheating means that polyamory would actually be the solution to that. I think that it goes back to your values and what works for you.
Preach, girl.
And I think that I would maybe venture to say that more people might be poly than are exploring that right now. And still at the same time, monogamy I think works for a lot of people. So it's all what works for you.
I would date someone in this room. 3,
Okay.
2.
Okay. I'm not gay, but if there was a lady here that had the same values as Luke, the other Luke, yes. I really like, the girl in the green didn't say much, but I would also say yes. And the girl in the red hair, again, they didn't say any of their names, but yeah. The lady in the red, no, I'm sorry. I mean, she's very pretty. Don't get me wrong. Like, all of them are very, very attractive, very pretty, but no. Sorry. Just there's a lot of things there where I did not like that kind of value. The girl in the red shirt, I mean, she seems cool, but definitely more of a friend thing. And the guys, they seem like all homies. The guy in the blue, he seems nice, but I think there was a lot of not self-deprecation, but I think he needs a little more work on himself. I want to be that guy's homie, put it that way. I want to help him out, the guy in the tan shirt, he seems cool, but I would not want to date somebody with that kind of mindset. I understand where he's coming from when it comes to his wife doesn't want to have sex with him, so you can screw other people kind of stuff and just have everything else. Like, I don't know. That doesn't sit right with me. But yeah, so those are my answers. Let's see how
1.
Let's see what they say.
What? I don't know these people.
Surprised he was over here. I'm like, what are you?
I feel like the girl in the green would say the other Luke. Probably based on the answers I've seen. I think they're the only two that agreed. Yeah.
And we'll go out with you.
That's not how that is.
Like perfect example, right? Like Janelle, she got good energy, right? Now imagine Janelle might be the coolest person. Next thing you know, you start getting to know her, she might be crazy. You'd be like, then you come over here all of a sudden.
Generally, the few people I've been attracted to, they look like Tim Burton dolls or just like weird goth people. Yeah, just like weird goth people. So like, it's just coincidence. It's very rare that I see these people. It's not a personal thing.
Sir?
My girlfriend would kill me, and
respect.
I like to think I'm pretty picky, so.
But am I not your type though?
Fair enough. I mean, okay. I think I understand he's playing it safe. I understand that, but I think he's allowed to say he can find someone attractive, I guess. But I guess that's more of a gray area if you're in a relationship. But you're on a date. You're on this whole show though. I mean, I think it's okay to say that, I guess, as long as you explain yourself to your girl,
You got me feeling some type of way now that you say it. I don't know.
So you my good side.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
I mean, for me, beliefs are extremely important.
They're looking at each other. Okay.
I ain't trying to get all flirty, but you are also very gorgeous.
Please send us a wedding invitation.
But no, beliefs are very important within relationships. I think I look into, obviously I have a desire to be a husband and one day be a father, and I think
Wait, I thought he had a ring. He doesn't have a ring? I thought he had one.
And beliefs, it's very hard to raise coherently.
Absolutely.
I think that just is extremely important.
Hi, good job. That was so fun meeting you. You're so fun. You're so sweet.
Like a good game line.
You're an amazing man.
Thank you.
Oh, amazing. I guess correct. Friends before.
You're hilarious as hell.
That was such a good episode. Oh my gosh. I've seen a couple of the Jubilee videos, like here and there. Whether it's like the Spectrum they call it, or the dating shows. They seriously put out such amazing content. I'll put a link to their channel down below, because obviously it's their stuff. But that was such a good episode. There were so many good perspectives, very real. Just talking about different societal and non-monogamous with like the guy in the black. I definitely think that solidified more of my perspective on guys and girls can be just friends, as they call it in the title. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and what I had to say about it. Definitely stick around for more of the gaming. I should be releasing it by next week or the week after for the next game I'm going to be playing. Please like and subscribe if you liked what you had to see. I was very happy with this, and I'll see y'all later.